you're the one who's, again, continuing with the condition. So that is inherited. The other situation is whereby you find a person is very sensitive to the environment conditions. You find that if it is dust, you find someone cannot sit in the same room with in a dusty room. First of all, you find they are sneezing very much, they are blowing their nose, and they just enter the room. The other situations is whereby you find someone cannot even walk near animals, cannot even live in a farm in the first place, because they are very sensitive. They start sneezing, wheezing, they can't breathe. All of a sudden, you don't know what has gotten into this person. So you have to be very cautious. You never know what it is, and you never know when it's going to get you.
You never know when it's going to get you.
You never know.
In terms of dynamics, then, what is so unique about asthma among those that get it at birth and those that develop it in the course of life?
Okay, those that get it at birth, because it runs in the genes, probably it may not really clear. It can minimize, but it might not clear. But someone who has gotten it during their lives, they may end up getting, okay, it may clear because maybe if they move from that environment or that area, or even that maybe sometimes it's workplace, they may end up not, it may end up just clearing completely. Yenyewe it can just go. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to come to you, Helen, in terms of the quality of your life. The moment they administered a test on you and you tested positive for asthma. It's correct for me to say that?
Yes.
Tested positive for asthma.
It's okay.
Sawa, sawa.
Yeah.
So once you realized, or they told you that, hey, Helen, you have asthma, how did you manage the condition after that, after receiving the news?
Okay. You know, there are kind of news that you don't expect to receive. For me, that was a shocker. Because while in high school, I had a friend who was suffering from the same, and okay, her life wasn't so enjoyable. Sometimes unakosa classes kwa sababu you are sick. So when it came to me that I am now diagnosed with the same thing that someone I know has gone through, it wasn't so good for me. So nilichukulia negatively. Nilikuwa na hiyo unacceptance, because even, okay, I'm someone who reads the Bible, and I know when you confess something with your mouth, you receive it. Nikasema, no way, asthma si yangu.
It's not my portion.
It's not my portion at all. Whether iko, ama in my mind haiko, kwa doctor's report iko. It has come, and the way it came, it will live in the same door it came in. So that positivity in mind ndo imenipatia hiyo nguvu ya ku fight hii asthma. Na yes, we are supposed to use a what is it called? An inhaler. I haven't used it. Situmiangi sana. Sometimes I ignore. And especially the drugs that you're supposed to swallow kila siku, zinaitwa Franol, I don't take them. I don't.
We should be punishing this girl.
Not really, actually. Not really. She shouldn't.
She's ignoring medication.
Because of her faith. Because again, most, I would say, people who are so much into Bible, or they believe so much in God, they believe it can heal, born or without, or born with it or born without. They believe it can heal. So it's not something they will, in fact, some of them would say they are not taking any medication. They will struggle with it through prayer. So I cannot really punish her for that.
We almost went religious. Let's come back to medicine.
Yes.
Let's come back to medicine. So you have an inhaler and you have Franols.
Yes.
That is part of the medication they administer for asthma, right?
Yes, an inhaler, it's a tin, it's a small tin, Inside it, there's a medicine called Ventonil, or you can call it salbutamol. It's like this. This is how it is.
Yeah.
It is a very small one. Most of them are of this size. I've never seen any other size of
it doesn't get
inhaler.
bigger or smaller.
Bigger or smaller. But then you have to open it. It comes like this. It's enclosed like this in this pack. So you just open it, and then there's somewhere you can press here. You just press. For someone who is critical, they press like 3 puffs. That's an adult. Okay? For a child, you find a child 5-year-old and below. They cannot understand what you're actually telling them. 3 puffs doesn't make sense to them. So the doctors in this field came up with something better that will enable the child of 5 years and below be able to manage it, even with any other person. You just open your inhaler, then you insert it in this hole, and then you just push it inside. You press the first puff while it is on the child's nose, like this. Then there's something here that is flipping, a yellow, I hope you can see, there's a yellow part that is flipping. You just, when you press the puff and the child is inhaling it, you count up to 10. That is the first puff. The child will have inhaled all of it by that time. And then you press again, and then as the tube is on the child's nose like this, and then the child will inhale it until 3 puffs are over. This really is very easy. In fact, children think it's a toy, so they really enjoy it. They don't even understand what is going on.
It actually looks like fun.
Yeah, it is fun with the yellow colors and the blue and everything. Yeah, it looks fun. Yeah, with my son, this is what I used to do. We went to the hospital like 3-4 months ago, and he was told he was diagnosed with asthma, because they had questioned about his history, which we don't have. Me and the father don't have a history of asthma. But then again, the doctors said it's good we try the Ventolin, which the doctors also say that it does not have side effects. Even if the child does not have it, it's good you try and see if that is the issue. So this is what we got for him, and every time, even after he has taken his medication, he would ask, "Mom, I want medicine." So I'm like, this is an inhaler, this is a serious issue, it's not a joke, it's a sensitive matter. But then again, they don't understand. So this has made it very easy for the children. For the adults, they can understand what puffs is, they can do it for themselves. In case of any attacks, we call them flare-ups or attacks, they can easily manage themselves.
They can easily manage. You mentioned something.
Yes.
Your son was diagnosed with asthma.
Yes.
3 months ago.
3 months ago, he's 3.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, we were actually shocked. We didn't expect that. It really felt bad. I remember I was telling the doctor it can't be. This is just another situation. You guys misdiagnosed, you know, because again, any treatment that starts with a child, I'm very concerned about what you're giving my child. Is it going to work or not? I really, but I appreciate the doctors I was dealing with, because they listened. They listened and told me, we are going to give you this just for a few days. Try and work with us so that we see if it is the cause.
If it is the cause, how did it manifest in your son, the signs and symptoms?
Actually, with my son, he started coughing first of all. So I thought, and a small cold, I thought this is just a normal cold, because he just started school. And I was like, this is a normal cold. We're going to give honey, home remedies, honey, a lot of fluids, warm water, and then it's going to go like any other. But this one really persisted. At night, he could not sleep, especially when we live on along Limuru Road, and it's kind of cold there. Even if it is dry, there's like a very sharp cold that comes through. So at 6 o'clock, you find the boy is coughing. When the boy is running from downstairs to upstairs, he's coughing very hard. He even is puking, and I was really concerned. I was like, then what is this? We came from school, he was okay.
Yeah.
After climbing the stairs, he tells me, Mom, I'm tired. Okay, fine, you're tired. Okay, let's go to the house.
Right.
The food that, or anything that he had taken, he starts puking. So I was really concerned. That was one of the things. And the sleepless nights, there are so many, and still it has not really cleared. There are really many. Actually, I was thinking because of his thin skin, maybe the cold is too much. I kept him warm. Still, it wasn't working. And a little fever and running nose, those were the major signs.
So it's good that parents watching us this morning look out for the following signs: a persistent cough, fatigue, running nose.
Yes.
Did you mention fever?
Yes, fever.
Yes.
On and off.
On and off. Those 4 signs.
Those 4 signs.
Critical.
Yes, they manifest kind of very fast, and they can confuse you for a normal cold, you know, and a simple situation, yet it is not.
Right.
Yes, so I would really urge parents to, anything small you notice on your child when you have time, because you have to be keen and watch your kid regardless of how busy you are, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Make sure you are sensitive to your kids, because I was almost ignoring, you know. I was like, honey, cold, and we are good to go, remedies, home remedies. And I just thought, okay, fine. I think parents should be aware of the small situations children can go through, especially when they join school. The first year is very tricky. You may confuse also asthma with something like bronchitis, okay? Bronchitis comes more or less the same, has more or less the same symptoms. The cough, only that the cough is different, a little bit different. As a doctor, you can tell the difference, but you can confuse it. And bronchitis is viral. So again, if you're living in the same house with a child with bronchitis,
yes,
you can also get it. So it is good parents to be very careful and mindful of their children. Let them have a checkup. Yes, you may not have the finances to take your child for a checkup, but try as hard as you can. Just the checking up and finding out what it is, because a persistent cough is very irritable to a child. For a week or even 2 weeks, this thing can go for even a month or even 2. You can see how the child will be suffering.
I can imagine with the rate at which Kenyans have embraced self-medication. You know, you go over the counter and you buy drugs, you go administer them, and you believe to be fine.
Yeah.
How, if my child has asthma and they develop that consistent cough, if I treat that cough, will it just go away? Ama itakaa tu?
That cough won't go away.
It won't go away.
You will give any cough syrup, any antibiotic you think you know, and it will not go up. It will not go away.
Right.
Yes, it doesn't go away.
The more the reason we are calling it persistent.
It is very persistent and very stubborn.
Very persistent and very, very stubborn.
Yes.
Helen, I'm kind of curious. You developed this condition, or you were diagnosed with asthma recently, maybe, because you said, well, you were in high school, you had a friend.
Yeah.
So if I do my math correctly, it is recently.
It's very recent.
Very recent.
Yeah.
How do you manage, what triggers an attack in you? Because there are those that have it from dust, pollen, animal fur. For you, what triggers that attack?
Okay. Like in my situation, I have never had the severe attacks of asthma. My asthma is not the acute one. So like when I'm in a dusty room, it's so uncomfortable for me. In a place where smoke is too much, I can't be able to cope. When I'm in a stuffy room, I feel so bad, very, very bad. And maybe in the mornings when it's so cold, when I get in touch with the cold, so I begin sneezing, having a running nose, And also during exercise. I am not supposed to do so much exercise. Nasikia kifua ikiwa mzito kabisa. It's like it wants to pop out of its place.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would trigger that?
The same thing.
Ruth, the point she said, when she tries to exercise or engage into heavy activity, she feels ni kama kifua inataka ku pop out.
Yes, because again, it feels tight. You feel like your chest is tight. So if you feel like your chest is tight and you're coughing, really, you just feel as though this thing, and it also, there's a small pain they feel, because again, in the medication, you also give painkillers. That is for medication. I have seen that with my child. They give him also a painkiller, because I think that's how they feel. They feel the chest is tight and they want it to loosen up. Okay, you want it to loosen up, and it's like you want it out.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had her mention mine is not the acute one. It's not the severe one. So what categories of asthma do we have?
We have like 5 categories of asthma. There's those ones which are allergic, caused by environmental triggers. There are those which are non-allergic. There are those which are cough-induced. There are those which are cough-induced, and
she mentioned
acute.
The acute is there's mild and acute
there's
asthma.
Mild and acute.
That is where now we start from. Asthma, there's mild and acute. Mild is it can be managed easily, but acute is very vigorous. Okay, you need an inhaler to control that situation. That's why you find someone can easily die if you don't have the inhaler.
Yes.
So hers wasn't that to that extent.
Okay.
Hers, she could easily manage it. She could move out of the dusty room, and then she would be okay. Get some fresh air, open the windows, and then she would be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then from there we have the allergic, the non-allergic.
Now there are types of asthma, which are the allergic, the non-allergic, the aspirin-induced, the cough-induced, and there's another one. There's one last one, but it is not so major.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a mild one.
So when we talk of allergic, non-allergic, let's begin there. What are they exactly? If I'm to tell a patient, you have a non-allergic type of cancer.
There's no
I mean,
non-allergic
not cancer, I mean asthma. Sorry.
Okay, allergic is whereby it is more of environmental. It's caused by cold, dust, fur, pollen, those things that you're sensitive to, those things that your nose, what you inhale into your lungs are sensitive to. Non-allergic, it's like you're born with it. It's already in the genes, but you have to manage it whichever way. Yes, non-allergic, it's inherited.
Cough-induced?
Cough-induced, it starts with a cough, okay? Then the cough, because the cough prevents, coughing again is not bad because it prevents the mucus that comes from the infected bronchioles, the airways, not to enter the airways. So when the mucus want to enter the airways, they're exhaled by the cough. So again, cough is not as bad. It really prevents a lot of things, and that is why nowadays they're really insisting on using the nasal drops, because they help the mucus to flow onto a different path besides the airway. Yes.
You also mentioned aspirin-induced.
Yes.
What does that refer to?
There are people who are very sensitive to aspirin. It is a good medication, but again, quite a number of people are very sensitive to aspirin. And again, there are some medications which contain aspirin. And that aspirin, if you take it and you are allergic to it, then it induces the situation. It worsens the situation. So it's good, what you're sensitive in. Are you sensitive in aspirin? Are you sensitive or are you not? Yes, so that as your doctor treats you, you make them known about anything and everything that you're sensitive to. Yes, even food, because again, they may give you, there are doctors who may decide to give you supplements, you know, and those supplements have some contents which maybe you're allergic to, which can induce the situation or even make it worse.
Now I understand why at times when they advertise some medicine or pharmaceutical products, they say it contains aspirin.
Yes.
Ama iko na aspirin kama kiungo. So that is meant to create awareness around what you're saying.
Yes.
Lest it come with side effects that you're not able to manage. Good point to note. Helen, coming to you, what is that? Were you told that yours was ever going to clear? Or did you ever get curious to know more about that, your condition? And if so, what did you find out?
Okay. First, after the diagnosis of asthma, in the first medication I was given, you are given a date of the next visit. That's when you go, they do a checkup to see how you are progressing, whether there is any change or your sickness is just constant. So according to the dates I've been going to visit my doctor, the summary, as in the evaluation of the treatment, shows a very big improvement. And the advantage is that since I wasn't born with the asthma, it can easily go away. Nikiendelea kumeza dawa, something that I'm not doing. I hope the doctor is not watching.
He watching. It's Health Tuesday. He's watching.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
Fungua roho lakini.
Nafungua roho. Nikiendelea kumeza hizo madawa. Nitumie hiyo inhaler venye nafaa. And even the home remedies like ginger, the
lemon honey, the concoction.
Yeah, honey. Kuna zile za herbal zenye pia zinasaidia kabisa combined with the scientific medication. So kulingana na venye ye usema nikienda, like the last visit I went was in December 11th. Yeah. Na progress yangu iko poa kabisa. So I am hopeful, very hopeful that this asthma I have, itaisha.
Itaisha.
Yeah.
That begs the question, Ruth.
Yes.
At what point does asthma clear, if it is meant to clear? And what conditions and factors lead to or enable asthma to clear in the system?
Okay, thank you. Asthma has no time. It depends on a person or a patient. Because again, you cannot tell how long. Because like for the children, you find that a parent is discovering that the child is asthmatic. Yeah, for example, like me, when the child is 3.5 years, I don't have a timing as to when it will clear. But the doctors tell me it can take like 3 to 4 years or even 2, depending on the health of a child or depending on the genes in the child or even the immunity of the child. So again, it has no timing. For an adult, it also depends. If you take your medication well, it shortens also the time for it to clear, you see. But sometimes you cannot know because an attack that has come on to an adult, because again, the immunity of an adult is kind of, is not as powerful sometimes, especially with the old ones, the old people. It's not as strong as the one for a child. A child is weaker because again, it has not built its antibodies in the child well. So you find for the adult, it may take a shorter time, but again, it's because the attack was from an adult age. But for a child, you find that it may take 3 to 4 years or even 5, or it may not clear sometimes completely, but can be easily managed. Yeah, so when it is managed, it makes it easier for a child to go on with their daily activities, you know. Yeah, it needs to be managed.
And does it have the possibility to recur once it clears?
Not really. Not really. It doesn't recur. You still have it, but only that the way you're managing it well. So for it to recur is impossible because, again, we don't treat it. It doesn't go away. It still runs, but it's the way you're managing it. Yeah, but you can also manage it with a good diet. You need to have very good diet, especially when it comes to fluids. You need to take a lot of fluids. You need to take a lot of vitamin C. Yeah, or the foodstuffs that contain vitamin C, from the oranges, the grapes, all those things. You need to take them very well. You need to take foods that contain vitamin B9. You need to take cassavas, more or less the natural foods that will boost your immunity and also antioxidize your system. Those are the things that people or patients with asthma should be able to take. And also emphasizing on the green leafy vegetables. They are very, very nutritious for someone who has asthma, and they are very good for antioxidants. And also nuts. You know, nuts, people see them being sold on the road and they're like, these ones are dirty, these ones, you know, you need to get, you can even prepare nuts in your home, or you try and get the clean ones, wherever you trust is clean and hygienic. You eat, nuts are very good. They're very good antioxidants, you know. And the other thing I would really urge patients to do is watch their weight. It's not good to be obese because, again, when you're obese, you're overweight. When you're overweight, it means that your bronchioles kinda become small. When they become small, you cannot breathe well, okay? You need to exercise. And when you're exercising, there's an extent to which you can exercise, depending on your body mass and also depending on how active you can be. And to reduce that fat from those airways is very difficult. Yes, it's very difficult, so I would urge people to do more exercises. Try and keep fit as much as you can and eat healthy. A lot of fluids is very, very essential to your health. Even when you're seated, water, everybody, I believe, in Kenya can easily access water. Just water, not warm, not cold, depending on how you like it. Water is it antioxidizes your system. Very important.
Yeah, very important. Kilo tuchunge. Kilo tuchunge. Muhimu. No.
Muhimu sana.
Muhimu sana. Watu wachunge kilo. Any kind of condition, especially those that are related to health and medicine, come with some sort of home-based care. As much as you're going to be going to the hospital for appointments and stuff, and as much as you will take the medicine or choose not to take the medicine, there is home-based care. What are those things you are told to observe while at home to help manage your condition better?
Okay. Like asthma is triggered by several things. So when you are asthmatic, you need to stay away from the kind of environment that will trigger you to have an asthma attack. Like in my situation, as I said, I should stay away from cold. I should stay away from dust and those other things. Smoke,
excessive exercise.
Yeah, I should stay away from those. And as the doctor mentioned earlier, I was also told to eat healthy and avoid the kind of foods that may also trigger my attack to come up. Yeah.
Ruth, there's a question I'm getting in terms of people who develop some kind of itchiness, you know, itchy feeling along the nasal cavity. You feel you want to scratch. And you keep moving your mouth in a certain way. Could that be an indicator that you got asthma? What's with me and cancer today? You got asthma.
No, it is not. It is just an inflammation of your throat. I would call it, it comes, that kind of a situation happens when you're exposed, yes, some people to dust, or they're sensitive to some chemicals wherever maybe probably you're working, or maybe some perfumes. It's an irritant which leads to cold and then cough, but it doesn't go that deep. As long as you can breathe, you know, asthma basically it's a condition where a patient has difficulty or happens to get difficulty in breathing. That is through the airways, you see. You can still breathe, but what do you have here? An irritated throat,
yes.
Which you only need, what you need to do is don't self-medicate, because again, we cannot tell. There's so many things in that.
Yeah.
We don't know if it is cancer. Today you're on that.
Clearly.
We can't say it is asthma. We can't really tell what it is as a lame person. It's important to go for checkup so that you be sure of what you're treating. But for me, I think it seems to be just a sore throat. A sore throat is coming, it's on its way, yeah, because of dust, I believe. Okay, I not believe, I know it is very dusty. We have not gotten rain for a while, so I think people are inhaling a lot of that. And you find in hospitals, people are so many because of the cough situation. So you find it is becoming common, but can be managed. Again, take a lot of fluids, it clears, it helps clear, and home remedies, especially honey and some ginger and some lemon. Kind of works for a couple of people, quite many.
Yeah, it kind of works. That I know. Garlic?
Garlic you can add.
You can add
and ginger.
The garlic and the ginger.
Yes.
And enjoy.
And enjoy.
And enjoy. And
slowly.
Slowly.
Yes.
Okay, slowly. Don't do oral cardio where you're just taking everything all at once. But there's a test she mentioned that is administered to determine whether you got asthma. She gave it a medical term.
Spirometry.
Spirometrics, isn't it?
Yes.
That test. How is it administered? If I show up to the hospital, what should I expect? Actually,
it takes a while. They don't just come up with, you enter the hospital and then you're sent to a doctor and then they come up with that. It's like a short process. They assess you after 2 to 3 days until they come up with it. They test so many things from your throat, the ears they can see, they can scan your chest, they can test your breathing, you know, the way are you able to breathe, you know. They're also modern, there's a modern machine, very simple machine, it's like a phone, yeah, a simple phone, okay, not really, an Android phone will do, an Android phone will do, you just hold it and then you breathe. The machine will tell you if you're able to breathe or not, if you have blocked airways or not. It is an easy kind of diagnosis.
Why should we take 2 to 3 days? You said they administer it over time and it takes intervals. Why the intervals?
Because they want to be sure. They want to be perfect sure of what they're treating. They don't want to give you an injection. They don't want to give you a medication whereby they are not sure of what they are doing. Because again, asthma deals with the heart, the pulmonary part, which is very sensitive. They can give you something and you collapse.
That's true.
Yeah, someone can just misdiagnose you because everything starts from the lab. The lab has to have people who are well informed about what they're looking for. If they're not able to, let them send the tests to other labs for assistance, you know, so that they are sure. Most doctors should do that, so that we are sure as parents and as even the physicians, other medical practitioners of what we are treating, because again, it becomes expensive. If I misdiagnose you today, you go for an expensive medicine, and then that medicine you find it is not what the disease you're treating is not that.
So it's not working.
It's not working. Yeah. You have to go back again. You're going to be charged for some fee. Come back again and get another more expensive or even a less expensive medication. So it's expensive. So every treatment should start from the lab, and the lab technicians should be very sensitive and be sure of what they're doing. That's why they go slow. Yeah. For her case, she was very lucky. Whichever hospital she went, because they went slow. There are places where you go and instantly they give you an anti-allergy. Yet currently anti-allergies are not so much for anybody with asthma or anybody the doctor assumes they have asthma. Now they are going for nasal drops, you know, because the anti-allergies, again, we don't know. You may have asthma, but you're not sensitive to any dust.
That's true.
So somebody just gives you an anti-allergy, and that is kind of not right. So I would really urge the doctors to go slow. Take time with your client. These treatments will be there because, again, medication, manufactured medical treatments are chemicals. What we put in our bodies should really be of concern, you know.
And it should matter.
It should matter because
really
they are poisonous too.
And it should be very necessary if it has to go in.
Very necessary. That is why sometimes people consider and should consider home remedies. If you can, if you see you can manage your situation
with home remedies,
go for it. Natural treatments are the best.
Great. Natural treatments are the best. Last but not least, Helen, your final word. Nasikia kama umenyamaza sana. She's even giving me that look of, it's been a minute. It's okay. Let's have your final word before now I cross over to Ruth.
Okay. What the kind of advice I could give to people who are either suffering from asthma or not is that, first of all, embrace a person who suffers from it, because no one applies for any kind of illness. It just comes. And if you do not have it, try to avoid the kind of things that would trigger you to get that kind of illness, because I wouldn't wish illness on anyone just because I myself has been diagnosed with such.
Sure.
Yeah.
As we bring this to a close, Ruth,
Yes.
the issue of medication, we cannot just turn away, you know, when it comes to managing this condition. What drugs, when it comes to the drugs in the market, what should you really, because I know we are Kenyans, at the end of the day, we'll go over the counter, you know. What should we do to, what piece of information can you empower us with this morning in relation to the intake of drugs that manage this condition?
Good question. First of all, to manage this condition and even other conditions, over-the-counter may work just for a short period of time because, again, you're not sure of what you're treating. So avoid it. That is why we have doctors, people who have knowledge on what you should be treated for, you know. And when you